Hello. Good evening. Sorry for the delay intro there. Okay, let's see here. I am beat. The missus, we think she got a stress fracture in her foot, so I've been forcing her to not move and wear her boot, which means everything else needs to get done by me. So quite a tall order. She's having a hard time not doing anything, and I'm having a hard time doing everything. So. Okay, let's see here. Feels good to sit down and do some sculpting. I will. She'll be all right. It's all, she just needs to stay off of it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But she has a hard time doing that, so. I will make her. She must. All right, so we're going to continue working on the Draenei priest. Yeah, I mean, I get it. She's used to going pretty much from sun up till sundown, just doing this and doing that and running all over the house, so it's hard to go from that to, you should just not do anything and sit and lay down. But, those are those life lessons, that humble us. Okay. Let's get to work. Hey, Forrest. Good morning. Hey, poem. This is a type of polymer clay called cast clay. It's a material that doesn't dry. It only cures once you heat it up in a kitchen oven. It hardens into a kind of rubber-like plastic that's flexible. Like a dense rubber, really. And you can bake it multiple times, so you're able to work in layers, which is what I do a lot of. Hey, what's up, T-Dollar? Hello, Juice. Not going well. You end up backwards, did you? I remember those times. A long time ago. I suppose the best way to do it is to try and stay up. And then sleep at the time you normally would sleep. But I could tell you from experience with like when we go to Germany, it takes like 3 to 4 days to really change your circadian rhythm. You did and then slept too long, oh boy. Okay. Do it again, but this time get a dog. Then you'll have no choice but to awaken. A dog or a child will do the trick. Cat might do the trick. They tend to get pretty provoking when they need food. It's either that or the hard road of an alarm with discipline. That is the hard road. certainly easier to have something else outside of yourself pushing you out of bed. Yeah, usually, so like when we fly out, we always get a late flight to at least make the way there as pretty smooth. So like, we usually fly out around like 10 or 11, in the night. And it makes it really nice on the way there because we all just fall asleep. And then you wake up and it's like, an hour left in the flight, or last time it was like 50 minutes left after takeoff. All three of us passed out. Then we woke up and there was only like 50 minutes left. It's like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. But then you get there and it's around 2 p.m.-ish, I think, usually. And then, I don't know, it's interesting. It's like you'll go to sleep at the normal time there, but then you, like 2 or 3 in the morning, you just like wide awake, staring at the ceiling, can't go to sleep, And it's like that for like 3 or 4 days, usually. Same on the way back. When sleeping schedule will shift over to Germany time, and then we come back, and then it's like the same thing. 3 to 4 days of not the best quality sleep. They are so many different people going different places with all kinds of different stories. The nexus of adventure. Yeah. I'd say I'd probably do more people watching though when all my solo traveling journeys. When I get the family with me, I'm less. My mind is more preoccupied with making sure they're safe and have everything, and making sure we got everything. When it's just when I've traveled solo, then I just can sit and watch people. Okay, let's see here. It went good. New faucet and drain installed and working just fine. Didn't fight me too much. I'd almost had a moment of thinking I needed to run back to the store as soon as I started. Classic forgot something because I didn't buy a silicone sealant. Thankfully, I had a little tub of plumber's putty, and then I did eventually find a little bottle of silicone that I hadn't used, so the day was saved. Yeah. Delia, well, welcome. Thanks for joining. I appreciate the kind words. Welcome to my workshop. This is what we do here. I make kinds of different things, start to finish sculpture work. From the beginning of the concept phase all the way through to the end, the finishing and painting. Is air dry clay okay? I don't really use air dry clay, but it's not the best. But if it's all you can get your hands on, then it's better than no clay, I suppose. You have to deal with a lot of shrinking and all kinds of issues when dealing with air dry clay. If you can get some sort of a polymer clay or oil-based clay, it'd be better. You'd be better off. A blank walkout. Here. Let's get some pasta machined clay here. Gonna establish the top of this piece. Sturo. Are you asking what kind of clay this is? The best I can make out. Sorry, my friend, my Spanish is not so good. I think that's Spanish. Yeah, that's Spanish. Yo no comprendo mucho, amigo. Hey, what's up, Clayton? What's up, Noodle? Lost her belt. That's exactly what I'm going for. Oh, lost a belt. Or bet, not belt. Sorry. Gotcha. I see, I see. What's that there, Saradini? What class? I see. That's a bummer. Yeah, you know, the success on stuff like that really does hinge on the word really getting out there. So that's not an easy thing to do in today's day and age. Mr. Kovic, how do you do? How you doing, Mr. Kovic? Oh, that's right. I didn't even check it. Let me go check it. The missus has been on it, huh? How's that one doing? Not too bad. Those simpler projects don't do as well, unfortunately. Not enough eye candy juice for our very short attention span, fellow humans. Cool, let's check it out. Yeah, I could see. It just takes too long for it to get to a, super detailed result. This is a commissioned work. Most of my work is commissioned there, Delilah. I was given the character. This is a character from. Well, I did. Yeah, I know, Korvik. I know you do. Thank you very much for the feedback. I appreciate it. I think the finished product is really good of that troll head. I mean, all the troll heads. It's just the. When I'm looking at the reels or videos like this, you have to look at it with like a different lens, or it's like, it's not so much about the project and how it looks. It's more of like, how it's presented, like is super crucial. Even like one clip being too kind of drawn out and boring, and then you lose half your viewership just like that. So. It's definitely an interesting thing, that's for sure. But it's okay. We wanted to create some of the troll head in real format so people can know that that's something that we offer. I mean, you could see it here. Look at this. Look at the difference here. See, so this is one that has been up there for a little while, and see, 743 with 4 comments. Compare it to the robot, right? Boom. 3,159 to 22 comments. So it's a big difference. Look, and even you can see it here. See how it's a little bit more of a simple one, and there's a direct correlation there. Yeah. These ones where there's a little bit more going on, a little bit more rendered parts, just does better. Man, look at this. This one's insane. 12,000 likes. I think this one probably has. So tell me how many views it has. But you can see, there's just a lot more going on, a lot more interesting things happening in the video. Nothing really static for too long, Very nice, juicy eye candy. Tasty. Moves at a good pace, not too fast, not too slow. Yeah, this one shows a good amount too. That's another important thing, that there's enough progress happening that it's, wonder if I can see that. It's got a dashboard maybe. Insights, content. Last 30 days is too more than that. I think it's probably too far back. Bummer. The game. Playing the game. But yeah, sorry, Delilah, got distracted. So yeah, this is a commissioned piece for someone's character in World of Warcraft. So I was given some screenshots of their character wearing the outfit that they wanted me to make, and that's kind of how we landed here. Yeah, but that's more for like YouTube there, Loose Noodle. I like that idea of creative challenge content too. Like, can I buy a random object in a thrift store and turn it into a nasty monster or something? Stuff like that, which is fun. It's fun to do too, and that's something we should do. Once we start making that kind of stuff. Like going to the thrift, every thrift store has a large section of porcelain, like figures that are like from grandma's house. I've always wanted to take those and like turn them into like, not grandma's figures, but still including like some of the original figures showing through, like the little kid playing porcelain figure where you still have the face of the kid showing, and it's like maybe make it look all become like one of Sid's toys from Toy Story or something, or a cyborg or something. Robotic arm with a taser controls streamer as he tries to sculpt. Just like that episode of whatchamacallit, Black Mirror. Social media things get a little out of hand, guys. Chat starts demanding a skeleton monkey. Oh, man. That is a goal, though. Honestly, it really is a goal to just get... If I can get to a point where I don't have to produce as many commission works as I need to now, then we could start freeing up time for more, just fun stuff like that, I guess, or maybe I just need to come up with a creative solution, because the troll heads, this is not the first time we've done troll heads. It was spawned, this idea was spawned from fun, just try and have fun on stream with you guys, and we did troll heads back in the day. The problem was it took up too much time, and there's nothing, like, no monetary gain from that time used, which I don't really care, except when, bills and stuff aren't getting paid. Then it starts to become a problem. So either I need to grow and have enough just overhead that we can just do fun stuff and not care about that, or we have to do what I'm doing now, which is figuring out a way to make it feasible where we can do the fun idea, but I'm still have a meal waiting for me at the end of the day, kind of thing, So that's the creating the fun idea and then figuring out a way to make it actually work in the real world. That's kind of the stage we're at right now. Because, like, the first version of troll heads, we just did them for they weren't, I didn't send them, I just did them for the fun of it, and we did it for channel points. People would submit channel points, get something made. They wouldn't get it sent to them, but they'd be able to pick out what was made and see it be made. So I like this new version of troll heads better. I don't know if you guys saw, we got a new promotion reel for that. So we're doing 4 more this Friday. If anyone wants to get a troll head made, here's the newest kind of highlight reel of what that can look like. Can be any kind of head, any kind of character idea or design, Gets turned into a little head and comes in a nice little, wizard workshop packaging. There we go. Yeah, I know what type of look she's giving you there, Loose Noodle. Those crazy eyes. Skeleton monkey with wings and a bellboy cap? Yeah, sure. 1,000 doubloons. Yeah, someone requested Spider Jerusalem, so I never heard of the character before. It was fun. It was fun to, you have to, likenesses are okay as long as, the real fun is where I can just kind of be inventive, but if a likeness is requested, people just have to know it's not going to be like this meticulous, picture-perfect likeness, because the whole idea is that I'm kind of getting the sculpting of these done in roughly about an hour time frame. So I can get it as close as I can in that amount of time. But yeah, it is fun to do that. It is fun to get those challenges too of creating a likeness in a very short amount of time. So some resemblance. That was technically the second time that's happened, because I think the first one was that tiger one. That was an existing character as well. Yeah, if someone came to me with like a budget of like whatever and said do whatever, my thing I would do is a desk-sized animatronic show. Imagine like Chuck E. Cheese, the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese band playing, but like, you know, fantasy characters. Like imagine like a tavern, like a D&D tavern scene where it's like playing out some sort of an animatronic show. If you've ever been to, I wish I could I should really look up an example of that, but so no scary animals, just that idea of this sculpture that moves but small sized, you know, like you would see at a theme park, but the size of your desk. Kind of combining. Those things are horrifying. Disney animatronics, yeah. But, you know, probably more in the realm of fantasy. Just like a small animated scene that's that plays on a loop, you know, when you plug it or when you turn it on. Maybe tells a little story. I think that would be cool. That'd be fun. That'd be a whole new like realm to explore using different motors and oh yeah, Jack, yeah, you know that kind of stuff I do enjoy, and that actually is a project that was idea I wanted to do that I was talking about on stream, and then I had somebody come forward and offer to fund that idea. So it's pretty cool when stuff like that happens. You know, it's just like scientists needing funding for their research. It's the same thing in the world of art, you know. Creative endeavors of that magnitude require funding as well, you know. It's not like, because you're talking like hundreds of hours of work towards something. It's made, because that's happened a few times where I was spouting out loud about an idea and have someone come forward and want to like make it happen, kind of like take it on as their own commission. And it makes me want to I have an idea book where I write down all my ideas every time they kind of pop into my head. Kind of taking that book and putting it, like making a public list somewhere that people can check out, and maybe if there's an idea in there that like resonates, they'll make it happen, kind of thing. One of these days I'll do it. A Discord channel or something. I'm sure there's folks out there that have the budget to want to get something made but don't have the right idea of what they would like to get made. So I could see it being very helpful. Turn the kingdom into a book. But yeah, I did have that idea of like sculpting kingdom characters, you know. Well, if you know what the tipping pop-ups look like, those little scenes where there's like a little kind of a little scene that happens with the cnotbusch kingdom character, something like that, with like, but animatronic, you know, small scale animatronics.
Listen closely, traveler, to what I say. Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
Death by cow does sound like a terrible death. Are we talking about a male cow here? Hey, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah. Or actually, I think my original idea was to start producing cnotbusch kingdom characters and then designing my whole workshop to be like the actual kingdom itself. You know, making them all on the same scale, maybe like 3 to 4 inch characters. And then on various like shelves and places, there's like little kind of sequences happening, you know. You know, random a giblet hanging somewhere with a guy just chilling in there. How much would a death by cow commission be? Oh boy. That's it, just that one prompt. If you're serious and you want to make something happen like that, just email me that same question and we could talk about it for sure. The reality is it's a matter of an open-ended thing. It's probably better if you have a budget and then let you know what kind of idea could be fulfilled within that budget. But I have a document that kind of lays things out and gives you a frame of reference of kind of what things can look like with different budgets. So, but you have to email me to get that. So, the hell bovine. That could go in so many different ways. It could go with like, bull riding Western death. Could go with minotaur mutated bovine slaying somebody. Ah, man, many different routes there. Oh, nice, Spring. Custom wine bottle corks are pretty big. I don't know. Whiskey bottle corks were a big thing. Sinking your money into dance right now? Like you're dancing? You're training to be a dancer? How does that work? Sinking. Let's see what I have a few books of ideas. Here's one of them. I think this one's an older one. (2017). Oh boy. Troll birds. We already did that one. Like really silly, goofy, kind of Pixar style birds. That one's a fun one. That one you could just keep doing in different ways too. Looper has one of those birds. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Sunday classes on here. This is from one of my ideas. I used to do a little special symbol when I was an idea. This is 2017. That's when I had the idea of Sunday classes. Oh, wall hangers. Paint stand. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah. Okay. Scholarly character holding a bunch of scrolls and books and stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. A barbarian-born character aspiring to be a mage. So it's like super brutish, muscly, barbarian-looking character that like grew up in a barbarian society, but like has always dreamed of being like a bookworm mage type guy. That'd be so funny. Character that ripens tomatoes by painting them from green to red, like a garden fairy. I like that idea a lot. It's like the character like actually like painting all the tomatoes. Orc mage is always felt weird to me. Yeah, right. Exactly. Castle face village. All buildings represent different people in the kingdom. Kind of like that, that chess set piece where it's like a fully formed castle structure, but it has a face on it. Kind of like how Thomas the Engine has faces, stuff like that. But like medieval structures. So you have like the baker, the bakery building that looks like an actual baker. Yeah, that'd be cool. And that's it for this one. $50 ideas a day. Well, you just start doing it and you can start getting more selective on what ideas are actually worth writing down. I have one that's covered in cork board. That's my bigger idea book. No idea where it is. Oh, over there. The cork book. Cork covered book. There it is. Oh. Ah, yes. The dragon head duck body. So imagine a duck body standing there with its duck feet, but instead of a head of a duck, it's got like a full on like dragon head. Duck body, dragon head. Post-apocalyptic bus pulled by elephants like a chariot. Almost like the elephants from the zoo, were strapped up to this like doomsday, like Mad Max looking bus that didn't work anymore, but they used it as like a kind of like a mobile base, Oh yeah, 90s cartoon gross-ups. You guys remember the 90s cartoon gross-ups where the random scenes in like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob where it like there's just like one frame where it's like super detailed like oil painting looking gross-ups is what they call them. To like sculpt those would be fun. Various scenes where there's a giant living alongside a kingdom. So like almost like roommates, you know, where you got this kingdom trying to like appease this giant, and you know, building all these structures and like all this scaffolding to like serve the food on the table and stuff like that, or creating a giant toilet. Pretty good idea. Also have like my whenever I build furniture, I have to sketch out my plans. All my furniture builds in the house are in here. I think their workshop is in this one too. Oh yeah. Imagine a medieval armor rack. You know, like the weapon rack that had like all the maces and the swords and stuff, and axes and halberds in the rack. We do that, but in these medieval weapons, you could grab and you can pull the cap off, and it's actually pens. So it's like a pen holder. So on your desk, it just looks like this miniature medieval armory, but really it's just pens and pencils in disguise. Thought that would be pretty cool. The Page Master book characters, or just taking that concept and even going, you know, developing more characters. Remember that movie, The Page Master, with the pirate book and the fairy book? I don't think I've ever seen anybody sculpt the Page Master book characters. I would definitely do the pirate. Oh yeah. The grumpy flower pot faces. We had this funny moment where we were talking about there was this meme that was posted about like about your plants, the face that they would give you when they're watching you pour the water into the coffee machine but not watering them, you know. It was just super like just a super rough, like parched, like rugged looking face. It was so funny. So I was like, oh, what if we made flower pots that actually had this type of face on them, always like looking at you like really really mad that you're not taking good care of your house plants. A key hoarding dragon. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look. Emma added her added something in there. Oh yeah, that was a cool idea. Imagine like a pirate dragon airship. So imagine like combining like a Zeppelin airship structure built around like the back of a dragon, like a really large one. There's like a bunch of pirates, like sky pirates. Essentially just combining pirates with dragons, but instead of a ship, they have a dragon that they ride on the back of. Or, ooh, you know, I just thought it would be cool. What if like one of those big like water turtles with the island on the back, instead of that, it's just a bunch of like pirates with like wooden structures, like a pirate fort. Mobile pirate fort. I'm gonna add that. Add that addition here. I'll put a or giant sea turtle. That could be a cool deep resin pour project, where you look under the water and you can see the giant sea turtle. Oh yeah, space rats. Like the Skavens from Warhammer Fantasy, the rat people. Kind of like space pirate, like Skavens that are in the 40K universe. I don't know if they exist, but in the 40K universe, they just kind of travel around like scavenging the destroyed ships of like encounters from all these races fighting each other, like orcs and humans and stuff. I think is it Age of Sigmar or the Skaven? Oh, that's a funny one. A spider mountaineer climbing a human as the mountain. So some sort of composition where it's like this like epic climber, spider humanoid character, but then like portrayed in a way that the mountain he's scaling is actually just like the shoulder of a human or something like that. you zoom in and it looks really cool, and then you zoom out and it's just like, oh, it's just climbing up on a human. I would build a huge coffee table with the Battle of Hoth in miniature form encased in glass. Oh, that's a good idea. The custom coffee tables with like scenes on the inside of the table. Some sort of plug-in with lighting and stuff. And then it doubles as it's a piece of furniture, it's a sculpture, and it's a display case. That's not a bad idea. I'm writing it down. Custom coffee table. Scenes. We'll just keep it vague. All right, what else you got, Dr. Kaput? Let's get it all in here. Oh, spider dog. I was inspired by if you ever look up a spider's foot up close, like really zoomed in, the bottom of their feet it actually has toe beans, just like a dog's foot. It looks just like a tiny little puppy dog foot. Spiders makes you view spiders differently. So I thought about creating a just a spider dog character because of that idea. Oh, okay. Here's a theme. So a lot of these ideas are themes that could create multiple projects. Zombie outbreak causing the Dark Ages. So like, fully armored knights fighting zombies that are, still wearing their armor from when they were fighting before, Just like this idea of like this, where the Dark Ages were caused by actually a zombie outbreak, like alternate history type of idea. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, a modular race that can be duplicated, and I wrote down crabmen. This was based on what we did with the Tyrannid. So some sort of race that can be created, that we can create all the body parts of and duplicate and create almost like create scenes of characters interacting, but much quicker because of the fact that it's like a modular group of creatures that I could duplicate. So crabmen. The race of crabmen and all their stories. Yeah, obscure relics from the fantasy worlds. So I wrote down here Frodo's finger. The finger that was bitten off, you ever seen those obscure collectible people, like that collect like two-headed snakes in a jar and stuff like that? Creating obscure items, but from like nerd fantasy culture. So the thought was sparked by the idea of like having like Frodo's finger in like a display case that hangs on the wall. His shriveled, his finger fresh bitten off, with like even putting the ring on there, just like this finger hanging on the wall with the little nameplate that describes what it's from. So I thought that was pretty funny. I'm sure there's other ideas on that type of topic. These items you don't really think about that, like, yeah, where happened to that thing that, you know. I wonder if he did pick it up. Nope. The collector picked it up after he left. Luke and Anakin hands for bookends. All right, maybe not just only body parts, but some other things too, you know. Some obscure collectible. Oh, okay. A beer brewing mixed with space marine or a robot. So like yeah, you just the combination of a beer brewer and more of like you always see like old school fantasy characters as like these brewery operating type of characters, but kind of combining it with more of like a futuristic element. I don't know what that is. Our decoration. Space Marine in overalls. Yeah, right. All right, that's enough idea browsing. Get back to work. Hey, what's up, Scorpio Sip? Do you ever doodle your character ideas? Not really, because to me the idea is more valuable than like fleshing it out, you know? Keeping the idea just in something simple like a short phrase or a word. Because for me the creative process starts with the clay, not with drawing. So if I flesh the character out with drawing, like a sketch or a doodle or something, then it's like the box is too narrow. So when I go to actually sculpt it, I'll already have this kind of like very constructed idea. So I don't know. And also my drawing skills aren't anywhere comparable to where my sculpting skills are. So it would just be a lesser kind of I don't know. It's much quicker for me to just write the idea down on a piece of paper. It takes 2 seconds, and then really explore the idea when it's like time to do like a clay sketch or something. Yeah. My creative process doesn't include drawing at all, so it never has. I've thought about really buckling down and like really trying to practice it. It's just hard. It's hard to work in other when I'm so preoccupied with one creative thing all day. It's hard to work in other creative pursuits. I could sculpt from a character sheet, yeah, totally. I can sculpt from just a phrase or an idea. Or nothing, really. As little or as much as is given, I can make something from it. I've worked on all kinds of commissions. Varying from someone knowing exactly what they want to someone not knowing what they want at all. So, and I get to figure it out. So, yeah, I guess getting better at writing down notes to jog the memory is important. For like when I have an idea, like giving as much context to the idea, so when I read it later, I'm not like, what the heck was I talking about here? I'd say most of those I was able to recollect though. Frodo's hollow finger with scroll included. Well, that was extremely delayed. What the? What's going on with my system here? Let's see.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
There we go. Hey, Kiki Stardust, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Unperfect Gene Soldier. There we go. Hey, welcome in. What were you guys up to? Kiki Stardust. Sculpting a Draenei priest here from World of Warcraft. I appreciate you sending your folks here. I hope you had a productive evening, or whatever time it is for you. Dr. Kaput. Have a good night, my friend. Doing some art? All right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Welcome. If you guys are new here, I do custom sculptures, start to finish, here live. We work on all kinds of different things, mostly commissioned work from individuals like yourself or companies. Every once in a while we'll do some sponsored promotional pieces. Hey, Kiki. Yeah, hey, thank you so much for the raid. It's been good. It's been a good day. Why, thank you. Yes, commissioned for a Draenei priest and a male Draenei Paladin, kind of like a healer tank combo if you're familiar with World of Warcraft. So it's a 2-character commission. But this one, the female character, needs to be finished and sent by a certain deadline for a gift, and then the male character comes second. So the unique challenge here is that I've created both the characters in their kind of rough starting form, and now I'm pushing this one to be finished so I can send it out, and then the other one will be finished after. And the challenge there is making sure that they both still go together even though they've been made at separate times. So yeah, let me send you an email with the rush fee quote. I'll make it happen. If you'll make it happen, I'll make it happen. Believe it or not, that is usually that's probably like 80% of what it's like when dealing with companies. They're like, so we're looking at getting this full-size character here, and we're thinking about having it for like 2 weeks from now. So yeah, well, okay, we can. Here's what I can do in 2 weeks, and here's what it's going to cost. I actually enjoy a rush, not a rush, but a challenge like that, where I got 2 weeks to kind of that PlayStation commission was like that. We had 2 weeks to finish that, and it was a likeness, and it was a challenge. It's like a pressure cooker challenge, really. I probably wouldn't enjoy it if it was happening all the time, but I do enjoy those kind of sprints. there's a valuable piece of advice I learned from my coach I used to play competitive billiards or pool. I played pool my whole life, and it's one of my favorite games for sure. And when I got older, I joined my parents' pool league team. And the coach of our team is a 7. He's the highest handicap you can be. And he plays the game where, like, the people he's playing against, if you, like, miss one shot, it's game over. You lose. You know, they'll run out. Yeah, it was APL. Yeah, APL, American Pool League. And he always taught to make the shots that you have already like when it's game time, when it's like time to show the skills, when it's time to win, you know. Don't practice new things, or don't try shots you haven't done before. Stick with what you know. So, and it's amazing how often you'll want to try the new thing or try the thing that you've not done before when it's like a pressure challenge. But yeah, if you really stick to that, like just execute the thing you know when it's game time, you know? And then later when it's not game time, that's when you practice, you know, that's when you try the new thing, and, you know. And that sticks with me with moments like that, when I have like a really difficult challenge of, like, you know, this has to be done in 2 weeks and it has to look good. Okay, I'm gonna pull out all the tricks that I know, you know, and I'm gonna use those. The things that I know work, that I know can get the job done well, you know. Not gonna try and do some new technique that I've never tried before, or haven't really tried very much, you know. So that's definitely the way to do it. So practice when it's practice time, not when it's game time. Yeah, I used to love the thrill of the when you're playing a game of pool and there's something on the line other than just playing a game of pool. It changes it. It's a completely different game. I imagine it's that way with anything that's competitive, that you just get this adrenaline rush. And I very much enjoy it. My Emma has really picked up that side that I have of enjoying these kind of thrills, or doing well under pressure. So yeah, you always got to the point in those games where you'd have this like double bank shot or some crazy shot that you would normally do or go shoot for, and when it's just a normal game you're shooting around, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna double bank and knock the 8 in or something like that. Totally biff it and lose the game. I don't do that. Big hockey family. Okay, our layering looks pretty good. Yeah, I didn't always used to either, Saradini. I don't know what changed. I think, maybe possibly streaming has helped with that. That, that kind of almost like exposure therapy. I was definitely nervous when I first started streaming. I I fully realized that there was a shift in me after becoming a streamer when I first. So I was contacted. This was like, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years ago. Wait, was it before Emma the first time? Yeah, it was before Emma. So probably like 6, 7 years ago, I was contacted by California State University to. They wanted to hire me to come out to their school and teach an intensive sculpting course for their summer arts program. This was a program that students would have to apply to get into. And it was very a very intensive, 5 days. You're going from never sculpting to making a full character. And you're pretty much sculpting from when you wake up till when you go to bed for those 5 days, with meal breaks in between, of course. But so I'd never at that point I had never done anything other than the stream, and at first I was like, this can't be this gotta be like a scam or something. So I remember even going to the airport thinking I was gonna have to hitchhike my way home or something once I found out it was a scam. But I got on the plane anyways and went. But it wasn't. It was legit. And then they wanted me to do a speech. So the summer arts program was a bunch of different classes. There was music industry professionals teaching music class, orchestra stuff, and all kinds of different art forms that were taught by industry professionals. And they wanted me to do a presentation in front of all of the classes. Every night they did a presentation, kind of up on a big stage and everything like that. And I hadn't done any public speaking or anything like that since public speaking class in high school, and I was not very good. I was always very nervous and stuff. But when I had my speech and everything prepared, and I agreed to do it, and then when I got on the stage and I started telling my story and talking to people, it's like I snapped into I'm on stream mode, and everything was pretty really easy, it was not a big deal. That's when I realized that definitely streaming can kind of give you that exposure to things like that and makes it easier to do. Since then I've done a lot of various public speaking things like that, and there's always that initial kind of like I said, it's almost like an adrenaline rush, but I'm totally content doing that stuff now. Before being a streamer, I don't think so, not so much. Oh, from the pressure? Really? Interesting. Could be a cortisol issue. Well, and that's kind of how I started Loose Noodle. I wasn't all puffed up when I began. I definitely came at it from the I'm kind of learning as I go mindset. You know, that's why I always say this student mindset. We should always keep that student mindset where I know some things, but I don't know all things. You know, still got a lot to learn. But when I started, I claimed to not know much of anything. I'm pretty puffed now, yeah. Pretty puffy. Progress, not perfection. There is no perfection. I strive for good enough, not perfection. But over time, my definition of what good enough is changes, evolves. What was once good enough is no longer good enough. Yeah, as soon as you've become a master in your mind, it's the moment you stop learning. When pride sets in. Arthur Border on YouTube says it's not just good, it's good enough. Oh, does he? It's true. Good enough. Yeah. Well, there is a difference between the feedback from somebody that, you know, isn't in a craft or isn't in a trade, and the feedback from somebody that is, you know. There's definitely a different level of good enough there. But yeah, they just have a faster processor. You're like a Pentium 1 trying to keep up with a, modern PC. The hardware is different. It's just like some people that are just obscenely buff without really even working out or doing much physical activity. Just different hardware. Everyone can be buff, but some have to, work at it a little bit more. Those are what I call the exceptions to the rule. A lot of people like to use the exceptions of the rule to define the rule, and that's the problem. Those are the exceptions. The not normal situation. The rule being, if you want to be strong, you have to work out, you have to lift weights. But there's always exceptions to the rules. This is looking good. Let me go re-up my coffee. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Well, there's absolutely no doubt that so many problems people have stem from how you're raised, like our childhood. Really, it's like I'd probably say the first 7 years are like so crucial, and basically your parents have such a influential role on like what kind of struggles and problems you'll deal with, positive and negative, like, yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I've learned a lot of things about myself that I can really, after dealing with some stuff, really realize that how it's literally stems back from how I was raised and the environment I grew up in. I think a lot of that stuff really gets revealed when you come into a close partnership with somebody, that the things that you have issues with that come from how you were raised, you can't see it very well. But as soon as somebody else from a different environment comes into the picture, they see it very clearly, and can like point it out and say, hey, look at this thing here, And it's like that other perspective is needed to kind of like reveal it to you, But and vice versa, There's just, it's such subtle like personality traits that we have, and like different battles we face and all that stuff can just like, you can really just see it's a lot of it's generational, so definitely a crazy thing. I'm just hoping to get Emma through to adulthood with as minimal negative impact as possible. That's my mission. I can't be perfect though. And that's the reality, is I know there's going to be things I fall short on, and I don't do a perfect job, and I'm totally ready and willing when she becomes older to, to say, hey, I'm not perfect. I tried my best. Sorry for my falling short. And I think that's what it really takes, is parents being willing to do that, to say, to, be apologetic for, those certain things. So a lot of them aren't, that just causes rifts, man. I'm proud of you, son. You really showed minimal formative impact today. Oh my goodness. Well, I think a big thing with me, with Emma and us, me and my wife, we if we do something, let's say we get upset at her or something like that, and we later realize we're probably in the wrong, we bring it up to her and apologize, and we make it very clear to her that we are humans figuring this out just like she is, just at a different level, same game, different level. And I think that's what's really important, that we're not these like perfect entities that are raising her, but that we're flawed too, and we're trying to figure things out, and it's gonna mean we're gonna have mistakes, but we're gonna humble ourselves and own up to it. And that's the example we want to set for her, so that, and she'll do the same thing. She does. The thing is they mirror you. Like you cannot fake it in any way. They will see through all of that and mirror you exactly how you are. So Yeah, it's a crazy experience, that's for sure. You know, that is the real goal, though, to be honest, that your child grows up and you can gain their trust enough to tell you the hard things when they're going through them when they're older, not just kind of keeping them to themselves, you know. My wife and her parents are very, very close, and they really, they really open up and talk about deeper things, like not this surface level communication, where it's just all on the surface, like they really will get into things, and just really be vulnerable to each other, and they have that kind of bond, and that's the real goal. Yeah, I didn't have that. Right. Yeah, right, and that might be the case, but that's why, it's always nice to have both parents involved, because usually the problems one has, the other one doesn't. It kind of like balances each other out. And hopefully ends in a net positive. Yeah. How old are your kids, Loose Noodle? Seven and 1.5. Yeah. I always felt that at the age of 7 is when the influence of the parent starts to wane. Like it's like the beginning of the waning. Where up until that point you have like the ultimate influence, and then it starts to kind of start to fade from there. I don't know if you've experienced the same thing. I mean, you're just at the beginning of that age 7, so. It's like the beginning of that waning process. You start to be more influenced by things other than the parents. Oh, I see. So is it a situation where you wish you wouldn't be so hard on her, but because you are living at her place, you have to be like walking on eggshells? That's a rough situation. Quite toxic indeed. Oh man, teachers got it rough. You're dealing with all the unresolved personal development issues of all the people, like a mixed bag. Yeah, that's the reality too. It's like these problems, if you don't work on yourself and resolve these problems, then your child it's like passing the buck. It's like kicking the can down the road. Now they have to deal with that, whatever that problem is, you know. But if you can figure it out and overcome it, now, even if your child has the same problem, you can help them overcome it too. You know, you kind of know the way. It all boils down to there's just people in this world that are working on themselves and people that aren't, you know. Just, yeah. The never-ending work that is oneself. Okay, that's nice, Deagle. Yeah. I mean, my dad, you know, I was raised by my dad who adopted me at the age of 1. And he grew up in a really, really rough environment. Like, pretty much he was like on his own from a very young age and had to find his own way in life. And he was tough on us boys, you know, like trying to teach hard work, and because that's how he figured it out. That's how he got ahead. It was just brunt hard work and trade skills and stuff like that. And he's like a rock when it comes to like talking about like anything vulnerable, you know, like there's none of that, you know. It's like the stoicism is like he's built his wall so thick that he can't even escape, kind of thing, you know. So yeah, I know exactly how that is there, Deagle. And I agree. I grow up and there's parts of that I don't like, because it'd be nice to have that type of relationship. But there's parts that I'm thankful for, you know, like there's a part of myself, especially like working with my hands and building stuff, that very thankful. Like the fixing of my sink that I just did, that's all stems back from how I grew up. So that experience, you know. Yeah, yeah, for real, loose noodle. It's definitely interesting. Hey, Dorigo. Yeah, glad you found me again. Yeah. Yeah, I started multi-streaming as soon as I could, as soon as they allowed it. So. Mm, for sure. Yep. I agree with that there, St. Andrew. Yeah. Right. Well, I think it just speaks to the adaptability of human nature. Oh, not even humans, like dogs too. Same thing. That like a dog that grows up in a like really terrible household where they're like being abused and stuff, but yet the dog still has like, you know, a level of normalcy is established where the dog is okay in that situation and even would run back to that owner. It's like it's that adaptability quality we all have that we can adapt to even the worst of environments, you know, which is a good thing, it really is. It would suck to not ever adapt and then just always be miserable. Just, certain adaptations come with kind of negative, some negative things. As a kid, I got 3 meals a day: oatmeal, miss a meal, and no meal. Oh, yeah, that's what Saradini said. Yeah, it's interesting. Can't risk her kid. Yeah, that's not a fun situation to deal with there, Saradini. Isn't That's the thing too, like it's so wrong that you can't have a disagreement without being worried about being kicked out, you know? That you have to that walking on eggshells. Especially when it's dealing with your own child, like you should be able to tell your mother that you don't appreciate certain things, I don't know, it's a hard thing to that's a hard thing. Because I guess I could see it from her perspective of like, well, I don't want a person living under my roof acting a certain way or something like that, you know. Not fun. It's the best thing to do is probably try to keep the peace as best you can. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. The realization that the whole world is a byproduct of parenting. The most influential people that'll ever be in your lives, even if they were never in your lives to begin with. Their absence is influential, you know. Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of good people and a lot of good parents out there. There's just a lot of bad ones too. Yeah, I think we have to go back to like a bunch of small villages next to each other, with little trade routes. Maximum population like 100 people or something. Maybe like 200 or 400. Yeah, right. The one village does the chickens, the fishing village. Bunch of specialized villages with some crossover for trade. It would still, in this alternate universe, it would still spiral to where it is now. Every single time. It is our destiny. We shall have to follow it wherever it leads. Yeah. Or I live in a not so, I'm not in a wealthy area or anything. Pretty like bottom of the barrel area. And the thing I always notice is like the cashing checks place, where they like, or the rent-a-centers, like all these like schemes for like giving people something short term by taking away from them long term. It's pretty sad. It's like everywhere, Oh yeah, we'll give you money for your check. Money today for your check tomorrow. But you get like way less of it. It's like kicking people while they're down type of situation. So that's why it's so important never to act in desperation, because just it keeps you in desperation. Oh, you can get a couch today for like $20 from this company. But then you're going to pay like 4 times the amount of the couch over its life of you having it, Payday loans, yeah, exactly. Just everywhere, Or even like dollar stores. You go to the dollar store because you think you're getting something cheaper, but they do what's called shrinkflation, which is you buy a roll of toilet paper for like cheaper than you can get anywhere else. But the roll actually has like significantly less toilet paper, and it's actually cheaper to buy the more expensive roll at the other store, at the regular grocery store, So it's like that. Again, it's that short-term fix for long-term loss, Like, they'll have only got $1 for a roll of toilet paper, but you get like, you're not getting $1's worth, Their Pop-Tarts are noticeably smaller. Yeah, that's the shtick. That's the one way you can tell that that's the way it is how much a bag of charcoal costs, like normal charcoal, because they have the same size bag and they have the same brand of charcoal that's there compared to the grocery store, and it's like almost double the price. It's crazy, because there's certain things they can't really mess with the they can't shrinkflate it, so you do pay for what you get, right? But most people don't. Like, it's the mirage. You know what I mean? Like, they're not. If most people knew they were getting they were getting less for more, then they wouldn't do it. They would do the other thing. But they've been kind of duped that they think they're getting the same for less, dollar store. That's the dupe. They have to fully realize that is more expensive. Then you wouldn't do it, even if you needed that right now, you would just. But it's just so you got all these things all around people in like a lower class area keeping them there, you know. Yeah. I go to Costco for my toilet paper. That's the bargain right there. But yeah. But look at that, right? Costco, you got to have an annual membership fee. What's like $60, I think is what I pay. Which to somebody looking to get a roll of toilet paper today, they're not going to say, "Hey, I'm going to go pay $60 and get a membership to go buy this $25 pack of toilet paper." But it is cheaper. Even paying $60, paying the $25 is cheaper over the course of a year than continuing to go to like the Dollar General to get that little dinky roll. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see? Mm-hmm. Best chicken cheese breakfast sandwiches. We drink carbonated water because that's a European thing, and my wife got me hooked onto it too. So I get that from Costco. Some San Pellegrinos, the toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags. Buy a bidet. See, I don't know. I don't own my house. I don't think I could just install. Actually, you know what? You're right. They do sell those. I seen they have those ones that they can just hook onto a regular toilet. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Try to think, what else do I get there? They usually got some pretty decent like deals on like clothes too, you know, like winter jackets and stuff like that. Hey, what's up? Hello, welcome back. Plus, Costco is the cheapest fuel around here. Yeah, I think they do too. I never really. There's always like a mile-long line. People getting gas at Costco. I just, we have this grocery store chain in our area called Hy-Vee, and they have fuel perks. So when you shop there, there's a card you use, and it gives you like certain things you buy gives you like a penny off of per gallon of gas. And I've stacked it up to like $2 off a gallon of gas for up to 20 gallons. So I'll fill my tank for like $30, you know. So I play the perks game. Oh man, that moment you realize you've reached the age where you're like paying attention to the like minuscule price of things. I remember when like my grandpa would my parents were never really good with that, but my grandpa would always talk about like little deals and little where you can go to this place to get this cheaper, and it was always just like, yeah, whatever, grandpa. Dang, I've reached that age now. Dang it. Jeez Louise. Did I do that here? All right, St. Andrew. Hey, thanks for chilling, my friend. Have a good one. Spare a coin for an old beggar. Hey, thank you for the 100 biddies. I'm gonna go to the Dollar General and get myself a roll of toilet paper. Woohoo! I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste your money. That'll go in the old Costco fund. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Medium sodas. I get so the closest thing to me is actually a Dollar General where I live, and oh man, it hurts me when there's a thing I forgot at the grocery store that I have to get from there, because it's just I can't make the trip out to the grocery store for the because of timing or whatever. It hurts my soul. Usually it's a little bag of charcoal, and it hurts. It burns me hard. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna grill this for dinner and blah blah blah, and then I realize I don't have enough charcoal. I'm gonna have to fly over there and pay that premium, convenience premium. You get 8 coals. I seriously contemplate, like, okay, maybe I'll just start a fire using some firewood and wait for it to burn down into coals and then cook on that. But then I'm like, well, that's going to take way too long. So I could have already gone to the grocery store and back before that's ready. So I might as well just pay the premium charcoal cost. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know how many people you got, but we don't ever eat out here. We make everything. We've cut that out almost completely, entirely, so. I have a passion for cooking though, so that definitely helps. Baking as well. I do a lot of bread baking. It's like once you start getting proficient with cooking, it becomes very difficult to go pay a restaurant for like a meal that you can make better at home and way cheaper. How tall is this going to be? She's like probably, let's see, I have a tape measure here. She is, let's see, from the hoof to the top of her horn, almost exactly 12 inches. 12 inches, a 1 foot character, or 30 centimeters, so what that is. It's gotten to the point now where like the only reason for me to go to a restaurant and eat is so I don't have to do dishes. That's it. Because I enjoy the cooking. So that's not it. It has inferior ingredients and it doesn't taste as good as it would if I cooked it at home. So the only thing left is the dishes. That's it. Yeah, and you know they're buying like the cheapest like bread and most places. I mean, I'm sure there are some places out there that are really good with good ingredients, but they cost a premium, you know, like even more than a regular restaurant. But the regular restaurants are definitely getting all the cheap ingredients.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
Hey, Polly. 3D printed me a fresh rate. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. We are currently 3D printing with our hands here. So welcome. This is the traditional 3D printing happening here. Welcome in. Hey, awesome, the grass trainer. Yeah, check out, I have some playlists if you want to do, like, learn how to do figure sculpting the way I do. I have some free start to finish tutorials, really in depth, that kind of goes over the whole process. Definitely check it out. If you're wanting to branch out into figure sculpting. Hey, thank you. So what were you guys? So you do like print? You do printing, or you do the digital sculpting work? I'm guessing. And then you print it out. Yeah, my copy paste function has a really long processing time. It's like an old school computer. You hit Control C, Control V, and then you gotta wait like a couple hours for it to render. That's cool. Have you, is there, you know, I've always wanted to get into terrarium stuff or even like fish tank things, but I'm always worried about like, you know, materials like killing the animals or the fish. So I've always been very, hesitant to do, especially especially like a fish tank, fully submerged thing. I wonder if there's like a special paint or something that you have to use. I guess it's probably less impactful for something that's not submerged in the water. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Ocean fish are swimming around in that stuff all day, every day, and they're just fine. Fish tank fish will be just fine. I know the clay I use, when it's cured, is technically considered a PVC plastic. How do you not leave fingerprints? Well, the parts that I'm touching are already baked or cured. So the only part that's not is this kind of detail here. The front part is baked over here. That's hardened. All right, well, I think we have to leave that there for now. There's still some more to do, but it's pretty close. Give it another session some point this week so we can bake it and lock it in. You bake in layers, so like we'll finish this layer, so all this area and this area. Once it's finished, you bake the whole thing, goes in the oven, bakes, and then that locks it in, and then I can continue kind of layering up one kind of section at a time. Because this material can be cured infinitely. As many times as you want to kind of go in and out of the oven, it can go. So, which is really nice, because then, you know, you can, it's like, I mean, you guys are there coming in from the digital realm. It's like when you isolate an object on the sculpt and you like isolate the layer, you know, it's the same idea. You turn all the other layers off so you don't accidentally edit those, and then you isolate that one section and give it all the attention and details, and then you lock it in. You hit the save as button by tossing it in the oven for 275 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. So, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to get out of here. It is late. Tomorrow is a new day after all, and I'll be back on tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. We'll be working on the Overlord sculpture, which I believe we're working on his greaves, his leg plates, leg armor. Yeah, that's what we'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening we'll be working on our escape from Tarkov character. And I believe with him we're continuing the creation of his helmet. So that's what is on the lineup for tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in on Friday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time. 11 a.m. Central. We're doing these troll heads here. If you're interested in commissioning a troll head, we do 4 a week. Just an original character of your choosing, whatever kind of character idea or thing you want to do. I'll create a head sculpt of that character on the spot, and they get painted and finished and boxed in a nice wizardy box. They're all numbered and signed, and yeah, it's just really fun thing to do if you want to show your support for what I'm doing and also get something in your hands. Tune in. It's kind of first come, first serve, so we open that up at 11 a.m. Central Time. Anyways, let's find someone to raid, and I'm gonna get out of here. Let's see.
Spare a coin for an old beggar.
Hey, Deagle. 2 rolls of dollar store toilet paper. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you very kindly. Oh, you know what? Let's go raid science streams. Doing some science art. Is it ultra soft though? No, definitely not. No hype train tonight. No. No. We're not. You didn't type it like with enough, emotion, enough oomph. The bar has been raised. Now you must. Yeah. Hey, thank you for coming in for the raid. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you again, Polly. All right, let's go raid science streams. All right, friends. Till next time. Bye-bye.